Hello students, just touching base quick on job safety presentation. Thought this first meme would be fitting for these first few weeks of distance learning here. Start off with a little bit of humor. I had to laugh when I watched this. But as we go forward here, we're talking about safety at your job. This is one of the biggest things about your work life is staying safe at your job. You have to stay safer or stay safe so you can continue working. If you get injured, something happens, and you're not working and all of a sudden you can't earn a paycheck, it becomes a really big deal. There's things like disability insurance, but we don't want to get into those. You want to stay working. So safety at your job really falls into your hands. So that comes up to this question. What's my responsibility with job safety? As a teacher, I'm always thinking about this. What's my responsibility here? If I shouldn't be doing something, it's a good idea not to do it. Find the right tools. Don't stand on a chair to grab something high off a shelf. If you got it way up there on the shelf and you need it, you got to find a ladder, something like that. It's your responsibility. It's very easy for me to grab my wheelie chair in my office and stand on the wheelie chair and grab something off a shelf because it's easier. But if I get hurt there, it's going to be a big deal. Here's a couple workplace safety things. Again, they had changed that light bulb way up high. The ladder wasn't quite tall enough, and he didn't want to stand on the very top of the ladder, so they had to put those boxes underneath. Pretty standard, common thing to think about. If you haven't, or if you want a good laugh here, this video right here is pretty funny. Pretty amazing, too. They're pretty talented on what they can do. But not very good as far as OSHA is concerned. Next comes up this teen workers job safety video. And that's going to bring up a lot of good points about job safety. And it's going to help you out understanding how things can go awry very quickly. This is the video that assignment number 1 post is about. So once you watch this video, you can watch do assignment number 1 job post. You're thinking about what are the mistakes that were happening there, who was responsible. Talking about that ice machine where Mallory got her hand stuck in it. It really came down to the boss can say 100 times, don't stick your hand in that machine. But it was Mallory that ended up sticking her hand in that machine. So you really got to think about that stuff when you're at work. And it's a good reminder about that. So assignment number 1, job safety post, course 1 discussion. So course 1 is going to post this to their discussion board. Remember to take a look at the rubric. We want good quality discussion posts here. Pretend like your boss is going to see this. And you want to present your most information to them in the most professional way. 3 takeaways from the video. How does this video change your way of thinking about job safety? What's something that at your work that currently seems routine but could hurt you if you're not paying special attention? Course 2 discussion. Find a person that's been injured on the job. Find out what went wrong. Describe the preventative steps that could have been taken not to be injured. Course 3 and 4 discussions. Explain the last close call that you had at work. If you have not had a close call, what's the most hazardous thing you do at work? What happened or what could happen? What should you have done to prevent it? Again, in this one here, we're not asking for, I haven't had a close call. Think about what you can do there that will explain a close call or a coworker's close call if you haven't had a personal close call, or what could be the close call that you could do. There is a huge industry out there in the job force that's called loss prevention. Many businesses have loss prevention, And what they're looking to do is they hire a whole team of people to stop accidents from happening at work. Because accidents are so costly to a business. Now, going forward here, let's talk about this word. This word has some negative connotations to people. It's OSHA. Some businesses say, I don't like OSHA. I never want OSHA in my door. But really, if you understand the underlying part of OSHA, it's not such a bad thing. Prior to OSHA, working conditions were pretty tough. One thing to note at what OSHA is, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So occupational, your workplace, safety and health, making sure you're safe and health, and the administration is the group that is making the laws. So that's why it's administration and not association. Also, this is a great test question. You have to know what the acronym stands for. OSHA came into play not that long ago. There was a representative, Steger, that was pointing out that in the last 25 years, more than 400,000 Americans were killed by work-related accidents and diseases. And close to 50 million more suffered disabling injuries on the job. Not only has this resulted in incalculable pain and suffering from workers and their families, but such injuries have cost billions of dollars in lost wages and production. So that's the big thing here. This representative was really looking at this. Businesses really were looking at workers as indispensable, really. If Johnny came in that day and he stuck his arm in that machine, or that machine caught him kind of funny and it ripped his arm off and he can't work tomorrow, we'll just hire somebody else. And that's what happens when unemployment rates are a little bit higher, is they can do that. But they realized that training, Johnny really knew how to do the job well, and now they have to train a new employee. That's all lost wages, and that affects the company as well. So not only were workers getting hurt, but companies were getting hurt too. And that's what really came into play here as far as getting legislation about this. So yes, OSHA is a regulatory body, but it's to keep workers safe and out of the bad working conditions. On December 29th, 1970, I know it sounds like a long time ago to you, but it's not that long ago really. President Richard Nixon signed the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970. So that is the law that formed the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Remember on the test, administration. Compared to our 1970, here's a little piece of information for you. Compared to all of our industrialized working, 1970 is not that long. So a lot of people, if we were killing 400,000 and injuring 50 million in 25 years, and we were working for hundreds of years before that, we took care, it affected a lot of people. So, December 29th, 1970, Nixon did it. Here you go. Get a kick out of this one too. Notice they're not wearing safety glasses. They should probably be wearing safety glasses here. I can't believe it. All right, now is the time for you to go post your job safety post-reflection. Enjoy the first week back. Hopefully everything is running well for you, and we can get on to next week. We're going to go cover workplace hazards as far as chemicals go. So, have a great week. And always remember, you can come into our help sessions and ask questions at any point.